This is Top Accolade Global News Update. I am Soybifa Jackridge. Two people have died in wildfires in southern New Mexico that have burned around 500 homes and triggered the evacuation of about 8,000 residents from the mountain resort community of Ruidoso. The unidentified skeletal remains of a person were found in the driver's seat of a burned-out car, New Mexico State Police reported on June 19th. Another victim was identified as 60-year-old Patrick Pearson. New Mexico Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham told reporters around 500 homes were thought to be among the more than 1,400 buildings razed by the two blazes, making it one of the most destructive wildfires in state history. The forest area around 135 miles southeast of Albuquerque, New Mexico's largest city, has suffered a string of wildfires, including one that killed two people in 2022. Ms. Lujan Grisham on June 19th requested a major disaster declaration from President Joe Biden for the South Fork and Salt fires, which have burned over 23,000 acres to the north and south of Ruidoso. New Mexico is caught in decades-long drought that has made wildfires more destructive and faster moving. In 2022, the state suffered the largest blaze in the continental United States, which burned over 341,000 acres. At least 34 people have died and dozens hospitalized after drinking illegally brewed liquor in the southern Indian state of Tamil Nadu, local media reported. The state's chief minister M.K. Stalin said 34 died after consuming liquor that was tainted with methanol, according to the Press Trust of Indian news agency. The incident occurred in the state's Kalakourichi district, where more than 100 people have been treated in various hospitals. Top district official M.S. Pransat said. He added that the number of those who are in critical conditions keeps changing, so that the death toll could rise. Ambulance, doctors, and specialists from nearby areas were deployed to the district. Government officials earlier said several people who were vomiting and had stomach pain were admitted to hospitals, triggering a police investigation. Later that day, Stalin, the chief minister, said in a post on social media platform X that those involved in the crime have been arrested and action has also been taken against officials who failed to prevent it. Such crimes that ruined the society will be suppressed with an iron fist, he added. Deaths from illegally brewed alcohol are common in India, but the poor cannot afford licensed brands from government-run shops. The illicit liquor, which is often spiked with chemicals such as pesticides to increase potency, has also become a hugely profitable industry as bootleggers pay no taxes and sell enormous quantities of these products to the poor at a cheap rate. In 2022, more than 30 people died in eastern India's Bihar state after allegedly drinking tainted liquor sold without authorization. Earlier that same year, at least 28 died from drinking altered liquor in Gujarat state. And in 2020, at least 120 people died after drinking tainted liquor in India's northern Punjab state. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg warned China over its continued support to Russia amid its war in Ukraine. It's not sustainable and viable that China continues to fuel the biggest security threat challenge for NATO allies, especially in Europe, by propping up the Russian war economy. Stoltenberg told reporters in Ottawa, where he arrived to meet with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, while Stoltenberg and Trudeau are to meet and address final preparations for the NATO summit in Washington next month. The alliance chief hailed Canada's status as a NATO ally. Asked about Russian President Vladimir Putin's visit to North Korea, Stoltenberg noted the importance of unity among NATO allies at a time when authoritarian powers like Russia, North Korea, Iran, and China are aligned more and more. It's extremely important that we, NATO, in light of alignments between Russia, China, and North Korea, are also working more closely with our partners in the Asia Pacific, Japan, South Korea, New Zealand, and Australia, he said, adding that Putin's visit revealed Russia's dependent authoritarian France in its fight against Ukraine. Stoltenberg continued by warning China over its behavior in support of Russia, stressing that there must be some consequences. Asked about Canada's plan to meet the alliance targets for its members of spending at least 2% of their gross domestic product (GDP) on defense, Stoltenberg urged allies wise to reach the target, adding he is looking forward to hearing Canada's plans in his regard, noting that there will be a wide range of issues to discuss with the Canadian Premier. Stoltenberg said one of them is also defense spending. An overwhelming majority of business, 85%, plan to use AI to adapt their marketing strategies to meet the demands of Gen Z customers. According to new research, the WILDFIRES annual State of Personalization report released found that 59% of businesses anticipate a daily reliance on AI by 2025. The report found that Gen Z customers expect greater personalization in their engagement with businesses. To meet this Gen Z's customer demand, 86% of business leaders expect a significant shift from reactive to predictive personalization across the industry. Brands to anticipate their needs, and AI is making that a reality. Robin Gottro, VP Product Management of AI, can provide business with real-time insights and information to engage with customers. This will result in personalized marketing strategies that effectively meet consumer expectations. Some 82% of business leaders agree that it is advantageous to integrate emotional intelligence into its business model. According to Global Data's thematic intelligence report on Gen Z is also concerned with the ESG performance of businesses. The International Institute for Sustainable Development forecasts that the market for ESG mandated investment will reach $160 trillion by 2036, up from $30 trillion in 2018. Researchers have discovered what is now considered the world's oldest wine in a Roman tomb in Camonia, Spain. This white wine, originated from Andalusia, is over 2,000 years old, making it the oldest ever found. In 2019, archaeologists unearthed a Roman tomb containing 6 inhabitants, 2 men and 4 women. The tomb belonged to a wealthy family, and one of the men's skeletal remains was found immersed in a reddish liquid inside a glass funeral urn. This liquid, preserved since the 1st century AD, was later identified as wine by a team from the University of Cordoba, led by Professor Jose Rafael Ruiz Arabola in collaboration with the city of Carmona. The liquid's preservation was remarkable given the tomb's 2,000-year history. At first, we were very surprised that liquid was preserved in one of the funerary urns, said Joan Manuel Roman, the municipal archaeologist for the city of Carmona. The tomb's excellent conservation conditions, being fully intact and well sealed, allowed the wine to maintain its natural taste, preventing contamination from floods, leaks, or condensation. The research team had to confirm whether the reddish liquid was indeed wine and not something that had lost its essential characteristics over time. They conducted chemical analysis at the UCO's Central Research Support Service (SCAI) and published their findings in the Journal of Archaeological Science. Reports: the scientists examined liquids' pH, organic matter, mineral salt, and the presence of specific chemical compounds. They compared these properties to those of modern wines from Montilla, Marilles, Jerez. Initial evidence suggested that the liquid was indeed wine. The absence of syringic acid, a polyphenol, helped identify the wine as white. However, the researchers cautioned that this acid might have degraded over time, so further confirmation was necessary. Determining the wine's exact origin was challenging due to the lack of samples from the same period for comparison. Nonetheless, the mineral salt in the term's liquid matched those found in modern white wines from the former province of Betis, particularly Montilla Marilles wine in ancient Rome. Wine was a man's drink, and the fact that the men's remains were immersed in wine is significant. Women was prohibited from drinking wine, reflecting the gender division in Roman society. The tomb contained 2 glass urns, with one holding the man's bones, a gold ring, and other remains from his funeral bed, while the other contained the woman's remains, 3 amber jewels, a bottle of perfume with patchouli scent, and silk fabric remnants. That is the size of Top Accolade Global News Updates. You can follow us on our social media platforms as displayed on your screen. Happy Thursday.